Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope you are doing extremely good. So today again I have come with communication questions for your upcoming UGC NET exam for paper 1 and paper 2. So this is a kind of a marathon. So let's get started with the first question. So the first question is, another term used for interpersonal communication is group communication, face-to-face public communication, dyadic communication, and the fourth is the traditional communication. So I hope you get the right answer. So the right answer here is dyadic communication. I have also yesterday in the last session I have mentioned about the dyadic communication, what this dyadic communication is all about. So dyadic communication is about two people interaction, which is said to be in the interpersonal communication. So into the dyadic communication, two people interact and they share their knowledge, share their opinion, and they take the maximum feedback from each other. So that's the reason that dyadic communication is said as the interpersonal communication. And when there are three people are involved in a conversation, it is called as a triadic communication. So by two, it means dyadic. I hope it is clear to you. Now let's come to the next question. The next question is, a negative reaction to a mediated communication is described as flag, fragmented feedback, passive response, or non-conformity. So the right answer over here is flag. Whenever you come across a word which says about criticism, you should always remember the word flag. Flag is notably discussed in the propaganda model for by Edward S. Herman and Noam Chomsky. These are the names, who has originated this word, and it refers to a negative response to a media statement or a program. Now the other options, let's just talk about that. So the fragmented feedback, it is about the scattered and disorganized kind of uh, feedback, which is not necessarily a negative. It could be a positive, but it is in a fragmented form, unorganized or disorganized, you can say. Next is the passive response. Passive response is again kind of a negative reaction, and nonconformity is means refusal to conform to standard, but that doesn't specifically describe a reaction to a media content. So flag is the word when it comes to a negative criticism. When it comes to the criticism, it is always called as a flag. Hope it is clear to you. Let's come to the next question. What does second level agenda setting focus on? Very important. You all know about the agenda setting theory. इसमें क्या होता है that media set the agendas. We are no one who is setting the agenda, like what will be discussed in the media, what will be discussed in the prime time news, what will be discussed in the 7 a.m. news or in the 7 p.m. news. It is the media who decide what is important and what is important for in today's event that can be discussed with the audiences. So this is the agenda setting. So the media will decide what is important, not the people will decide. And the second level agenda setting is what? Let's just discuss about the other options. Media coverage of only political topics, influence on media ownership on public opinion, media's ability to shape how we think about issues, attribute silence, and the fourth is the time frame within which news is delivered. As you can see, the correct answer is it is media's ability to shape how we think about an issue. Now the first level setting is about to tell media, to tell people what to think about emphasizing the certain issues. And the second level is about, it calls attribute agenda setting, which is it goes deeper and influence how people think about issues, focusing on tone, framing, and attributes of the news. I'll just give one example. In case of a terrorist attack in Kashmir, what happened that the first instance was the terrorist attack happened in the Kashmir. That was the major event, and all the media houses, all the channels, they started covering that event and they're giving the details about it. And then later on, the second agenda setting, which we also call as a attribute silence, it was about all the ins and outs about that event, why that event was important, why have we shown you that event these days. So that is called as the second level agenda setting theory. Like they give the justification that why we have chosen this out of the other content, Now with these days you can see the Sonam Raghuvanshi cases in the limelight. Every day we are getting the news about the, first it came like that the honeymoon couple gone missing, and then first 2 3 days it went like that only. Then it started on that the search hunting is going on, and then the later phase when the things cracked, like the entire thing actually, the breakdown happened. We got to know who's the culprit. Now the media channels are actually focusing on how the things that happened, how she has planned the murder, who are who are the people are involved. So they give the justification that why this important thing was important to know, why we have chosen this content to show it to you. So this is all about that. I hope this is clear again to you. Next question is about the agenda setting. Again, 2 3 questions I have taken from agenda setting. I am very sure that some of these questions will definitely hit in this exam. The question is that the agenda setting theory was first tested during which event? So the correct answer is 1968 US presidential election. Let me just give some more detail that Maxwell, Macomb and Donald Shah, these are the two names who are associated with these agenda setting theory. And it is somehow in the digital age, agenda setting is no longer monopolized by the mainstream media. Now we have the third media, that we have that social media, we have that control over that, and people are participating in the social media, they are commenting it, and they are doing it, they are decentralizing it, like now there is no more as such, but still most of the TV channels are still focused on the agenda setting. But thanks to the social media and the different social media news channels that we have, and now we stick to that because they are more uh, you know uh, unbiased, and they are taking account of all such events. So this is the most important thing. Now comes to the next and the last question. It is concept and the author. Now you have to uh, connect the concept with the right author. So there are the concepts of frame of reference, coercion and consent, priming and resonance. And here are the authors: Donald Shah, Antino Gramsci, Wilbur Scram, and George Gerbner. So without wasting much of your time, let me just crack this. The concept for the frame of reference, the theorist's name is Wilbur Scram. Always remember. Now, what is the frame of reference? The frame of reference means that it is used in the barriers to communication, like the frame of reference. Like my frame of reference, it should match with your frame of reference. That means that my vibe should match with your vibe. If I'm a humorous person and if you are a serious kind of person, if I'm cracking any jokes, you might not react to that. So it is about that. So frame of reference should be, you both should be on the same page, then only the frame of reference could match, otherwise it will not. So as have mentioned over here, that the Scrum emphasized that communication is effective only when both sender and receiver share a common frame of reference, a shared background, experience, or understanding. Miscommunication happen when the shared context is missing. If your context is missing, if I'm saying something and you are not understanding, and if I understood in a different level, you're not getting me, it happens a lot of the time. Like the way I'm explaining it to you, and you have taken that conversation in different level, you're taking it on a negative way. So the frame of reference is not matching with each other, so there is a gap between that. Now the coercion and consent, it is related to Antino Gramsci. He's the one who's, if the name comes, and if it is, it always you always associate this Antino Gramsci with the word cultural hegemony. So Gramsci introduced the concept of cultural hegemony, where the ruling class maintains the power, not just through the force, but through by securing the consent of the masses through ideology, culture, and media. So those who are the elite, the elite class, they are somehow using that cultural hegemony, that says that they are using that force, they are taking the consent, they are putting the ideology. Like somebody have said something, if Shahrukh have said something, some of his ideology, he's shared it on a podcast or maybe on a TV interview, that will be taken as a ideology, that he has said that, and now I will set my mindset as per that, as per what he has said. So this is about that. And then the culture and the media, definitely about that. So the mostly the ideology plays a crucial role. Next is the priming. And then the priming, the Donald Shah is the main, he's the person who's involved into this word. He co-founded the agenda setting theory, and he worked on the priming. So what a priming is, it explains how media exposure on certain issues or traits can prime the audience to evaluate a political figure, or giving the prime, giving the emphasis on people, on issues. So it is about that. Resonance is related to George Gerbner. It is related to cultivation theory. When it comes to resonance, remember George Gerbner and cultivation theory. So resonance has come with this cultivation theory basically, which was proposed by George Gerbner, and it is about the heavy viewers and the light viewers. I guess you all know about the heavy TV viewers. So those who watch TVs, they have you know you know heavy viewers are those who watch TV and they think that things are happening in their life too. So heavy viewers and the light viewers, it's about that. I'll explain about this particular theory if you want to know more about it. So this is just a glimpse of what is the concept, who are the theorists, and little bit of their explanation. So, and the correct sequence of the following theories, it is again very important because some of the questions are asked on the chronology basis. So, here are the questions like diffusion of innovation, uses and gratification, agenda setting, and cultivation. So, you have to set it in a chronological basis. So, here is the answer: uses and gratification. It is developed first, it comes uses and gratification theory, then the diffusion of innovation theory, then agenda setting theory, and the last one is the cultivation theory. So uses and gratification is come in the year 1940s, and it focuses on how audiences actively seek out media to satisfy various needs. Then diffusion of innovation came by Everett Rogers in the year 1962. Agenda setting is Macomb and Shah, 1972, and cultivation is in the year 1976 by George Gerbner. I'll share more in insights into all these theories because I guess it's very very important. So this is all for today. Thanks for watching, guys, and please like, share, and subscribe my channel to get more info about the upcoming UGC NET exam. And also, I'll be sharing the other papers related to your paper one and paper two. So let me know in the comment box like what other topics that you want to know from my side. This is just a marathon because now we have no time in our hand. Exams are just around the corner, and the marathon will work very well for you because you just give a glimpse to it, and then you'll be able to recall who are the theorists, what is the correct chronology and all. So thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. Bye.